To all the students of second PUC, welcome to session 1 of chapter 2, which is electrostatic potential and capacitance. As this is the first session of this chapter, for understanding the concepts in this chapter, we will recall some of the terms or concepts which we had studied in chapter 6 of first PUC. What are those terms? Potential energy, work energy theorem and conservative forces. So if you go on to unit 6.7 in first PUC, there is a good explanation about potential energy. So what does it tell? It tells that potential energy is the stored energy by virtue of position or configuration of a body. So a potential energy is the ability for the object to do some work. Next, work energy theorem. In the same chapter, if you go to 6.2 and 6.8, there work energy theorem has been mentioned. What does it tell? Work energy theorem tells that the work done on an object by a force is going to be equal to change in kinetic energy. I can write this as final kinetic energy minus initial kinetic energy. Conservative forces. So I will not go into detail of conservative forces. If you go through unit 6.7 in your first PUC, there you can see what is conservative force. I have two examples here, gravitational force and spring force. In unit 6.7, they have mentioned one more thing. What is it? In case of conservative force, when you are doing an external work against the forces, then work done in this case is equal to change in potential energy. So I can write this as final potential energy minus initial potential energy. As already mentioned, if you read about potential energy, there it has been mentioned as energy by virtue of its position. So I can write this one also as the difference in potential energy at position B minus the initial position A. Now we will go into some more detail about this, about work done being stored as potential energy or given as change in potential energy. We will move on further. We will further try to understand how work done is stored as potential energy or how it gives change in potential energy. We will recall gravitational potential energy, which you had also studied in your high school. Whenever you have an object on the ground, its gravitational potential energy is 0. Now lift the object by an height h, then gravitational potential energy is given by mgh. In terms of work energy theorem, I can write this as work done is going to be equal to change in potential energy, which is UB minus UA. At the position A, the potential energy is 0. So I can write this directly as which is equal to UB, which is mgh. Now we will come to spring. In a spring, when it is in equilibrium position or when it is at rest, then the potential energy is 0. If you pull the spring against the force of the spring, then it gains a potential energy. That potential energy is given by half kx square, where x is the amount of extension and k is called the spring constant. Again, I will apply work energy theorem here. So even in this case, the work done is equal to change in potential energy. I can again write this as UB minus UA. At the position A, its potential energy is 0. So this will be equal to UB, which is half kx square. Remember this. Now we will come into the second PUC, chapter of second PUC, where we will be studying electrostatic potential or electrostatic potential energy. I will use the same analogy even for electrostatic potential energy. Now let us see How does a charge gain electrostatic potential energy? As already told previously, both in gravitational potential energy in case of gravitational force and elastic potential energy in case of a spring. Potential energy is gained or there is a change in potential energy when an external work is done against the force. Now we will come to electrostatic potential energy. So electrostatic potential energy arises only in case of charges. Let us remember this, it's only in case of charges. Now let us see. First, I have some charge Q and I fix this, and where I fix it, I take it as origin O. As already studied in chapter 1, whenever there is a charge, there is electric field around it. As this is positive charge, the direction of electric field is towards this direction. Now I will take one more test charge and I will take a positive test charge. Initially I will keep it at R. As you already know, positive repels the positive. Now what will I do? I will move this test charge against the field from R to P. So this work done by an external force against the electrostatic force gets stored as potential energy, or it results in change in potential energy. So what will I do now? Now I can write the work done in moving the charge from R to P is going to be integration of the external work done into the small distance moved. I take this as some small distance. Okay, I can also integrate it from R to P. Here, the external force that I have applied has to be equal and opposite to the electrostatic force. So I can write this now as, so this is the equation for the external work done. Now apply this to change in potential energy. So I can write the external work is equal to change in potential energy, which is the final potential energy at P minus initial potential energy at R. If you remember, in both the cases of gravitational potential energy and elastic potential energy in a spring, the initial position where we had taken, there we had this potential as 0. But it is not the same in electrostatics. As we have studied both in chapter 1 of first year PUC as well as in chapter 1 of second PUC, the electrostatic force of a charge is going to be 0 at a very large distance or at infinity. So only at infinity the influence of a charge is going to be 0. Therefore, if I take this R as infinity, so instead of taking the charge from R to P, now I will take charge from infinity to P. This will be UP minus U infinity. The potential at infinity is also going to be 0. So now finally I will arrive at a definition for electrostatic potential energy. The same is what is been explained in your textbooks. So what is that electrostatic potential energy? For a given charge at a point in an electric field, electrostatic potential energy is the work done by an external force in bringing the charge from infinity to that point without accelerating. So I will repeat it once more. For a given charge, the electrostatic potential energy at a point in electric field is the work done by an external force in bringing it from infinity to that point without accelerating. Okay, so this is the definition for electrostatic potential energy. I'll write it mathematically. So potential at some point P is going to be potential energy, it is the work done in bringing the charge, from infinity to that point. Further, I can write this as integration of the work done from infinity to that point. This is the mathematics for electrostatic potential energy. Any energy, maybe potential energy, kinetic energy, whatever the energy, the SI unit is going to be joule. Okay, now we will move on to the next topic, which is electrostatic potential. What I have discussed here is electrostatic potential energy. It is the energy that is being gained or that is being possessed by a charge Q. So it is the characteristic of the charge. Okay, but I want to now define a characteristic of the some arbitrary charge Q or of the field E. If you remember in chapter 1, we had two things, which is electrostatic force and electrostatic field. Force depends on the charge Q, while field is independent of charge Q. Similarly, electrostatic potential energy is the characteristic of charge Q, okay, here U, but electrostatic potential is going to be the characteristic, it's a scalar, is going to be the characteristic of the field. So let us see what is electrostatic potential. Okay, electrostatic potential. It is the same, the definition can be almost the same as electrostatic potential energy. Instead of some charge Q, just take unit positive charge. So now I can define electrostatic potential as, so electrostatic potential at any point in an electrostatic field is the work done in bringing a unit positive charge from infinity to that point without acceleration. This is the definition for electrostatic potential. So how can I get it mathematically? It's nothing but potential is represented by V. We have already calculated what is the work done in bringing a charge from infinity to a point P. Divide that by the charge you took. So you will get electrostatic potential. This is going to be, the SI unit for work is joule and SI unit for charge is coulomb. So this gives electrostatic potential. So electrostatic potential is not dependent on the charge we take, but it depends upon the field due to some arbitrary charge. Okay, this is electrostatic potential. So the SI unit for electrostatic potential is going to be joule per coulomb. Symbolically it is joule per coulomb. It also has another name, which is volt, represented by capital V. In physics, you will find only one physical quantity which has the symbol of representation, also the unit of representation having the same symbol, which is electrostatic potential. Electrostatic potential is also represented by capital V. Its unit is also represented by capital V. The V here is potential, whereas the V here is volt. In the syllabus, they mentioned that you are supposed to learn the definition for electrostatic potential difference or simply potential difference. It's all the same. It is nothing but the difference in potential between 2 points. So if I have to define, I will define it as work done in bringing a, in moving a unit positive charge from lower potential from a point of lower potential to point of higher potential. That's it. In the previous discussion, I had shown that we are moving a point from R to P. So instead of some charge, you take a unit positive charge. That will give you the definition for electrostatic potential difference, or simply potential difference. The unit is the same. So in this session, what are the things that we have learnt? We have learnt electrostatic potential energy. We have learnt electrostatic potential and potential difference. Also, of course, the SI unit for potential, which is joule per coulomb or volt. The same unit also holds for potential difference. It's all the same. Potential energy, any energy, the unit is joule. That's it. Thank you.